that don't sound like no garden tiller, brother. How you doing, Luke?
How's it going, man?
Good. Good to see you. So we're here today to check out this beautiful orange 65 Dodge Dart. Man, you got a sharp car, Luke. It's really pretty. Every time I see it, it's pretty. I never see any dirt, no dust, nothing on it. But, you know, we've known you quite a while. You've had this car how many years now, Luke?
We got it in 06 and started building it.
06, so almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years. So you were a young man when you started that,
I was
right?
in seventh grade.
Seventh grader, man,
Yeah.
working on a 65 Dodge Dart. Well, man, it's a beautiful car. Greg, walk around here and give everybody a chance to see it on the video here, but man, it sure is sharp. Got the Krager SS's on it, 14-inch tires, I guess.
Yes.
14-inch tires. You did a complete restoration on it because I know it was green before.
Right.
So when you did all that, Luke, did you replace all your windshield rubber and things like that?
Yeah.
Window felts, all that stuff?
Yeah, the windshield was actually since the rubber had to come out of it, it's got a new windshield in it.
Yeah.
Slightly tinted. But yeah, everything's been welting, everything's been replaced on it.
Now, one thing I noticed about these cars, and you can give the viewers a little bit of history on this. This is called a Dodge Dart 170.
Yes.
And it's a post car.
Correct.
As opposed to a hardtop. Is that right?
Right. The 270 and your GT were both hard tops.
I got you.
And just from my standpoint, I don't see a whole lot of them to begin with, but you don't really see a whole lot of the 170 post cars because it was a post car. They made them into race cars,
right?
Stability and stuff. In the top.
Yeah, a lot of them got chopped up.
Right.
What you're saying for race cars.
Mm-hmm.
This one, however, hadn't made it that far in its life, right?
Thankfully, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. So I know this car started out this really dark, like military green. Mm-hmm. Wasn't appealing to the eye at all. You made a total 180 reverse on that. So beautiful color. Tell us about the color. What is that color?
So the color is a 1970 Dodge Go Mango Orange. Mm-hmm. Plymouth, their version of it's the same color, but their version was called Vitamin C.
So they called it Vitamin C. I know I had a 70 Roadrunner that was Vitamin C, so it would have been the exact same color.
Yes.
But Plymouth called it a different name, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just take a little walk around. Some of the things you've added. I guess the car had this molding originally.
Yep, that's all the original.
Did it have a painted gas cap or no?
Yeah, originally it would have had a painted gas
I
cap,
thought so.
But it didn't have the gas cap, and me being a kid at the time, plus I like chrome. I like having the chrome.
Original bumpers, original to the car.
Yes.
You had them re-chromed, I guess.
Yep, chromed and straightened. Well,
they're in really, really good shape. And of course, the tail panel molding here all looks good. Mm-hmm. I like the style in the back. The tail lights and the panel lean it's got to it, that tilt back.
Right.
Looks really cool. And of course, you do like a lot of us do. You run the original correct year license plate on it.
Right.
Well, it's really a beautiful car, and it shows well. It's just straight as it can be. I mean, you don't see any waves or anything down the side of it. So, did someone else do your paint work for you?
They did the paint and body work. Yeah. And originally it would have had a chrome strip from front to back and a Dart script in the rear. That's all been shaved.
Yeah.
I had that all going through, and the guy did a great job because you can't.
Oh no!
Like you said, you can't see any waves of the chrome strip.
And you know, this car's doing a lot of moving. It's got a curve here, it curves down, curves in, curves back out. It's in and out to get those body lines and get that panel for its size. That straight really says a lot for your body and paint guy.
I will say this: it was pretty much a rust-free car.
Yeah, the old car. Yeah, the old car was in good shape. It was in really good shape. You mind if I open your door?
Have at it.
We'll take a look at this interior. Now, what can you tell us about the interior?
So I don't know the actual color of the seats, but the color of the dash and the top of the door panels where it's metal and painted is medium yellow gold, which is a actual 65 Dodge color. And the whole interior, the color kind of got based off the steering wheel. One of our buddies that passed away now named Moose, he gave me that steering wheel. That's an original Cal Custom steering wheel, gold metal flake. And I kind of ended up basing the color of the interior around that.
You put a new headliner in it?
That is the factory headliner from 65.
That thing is in really, really good shape. Now, I see it's got, like a lot of old cars, and I've had many of them, that had the radios. The hole was cut out for something newer than the 2 dials.
Correct. It was cut out, and we had to weld we bought a parts car and actually cut that dashboard out so I could weld that into here.
So you installed that into here.
Right.
And a little trick that I know you've got here.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind me pulling this open.
Have at it.
You got an FM converter because out of the factory it was an AM radio, correct?
Yes.
So you just hit a certain spot on your dial, flip it over to FM, and you're there, right?
Yes, sir.
GPS.
Yep, or not factory GPS, aftermarket GPS.
Yeah, yeah. Other words, known as a compass. Now I see you got all the window, the door moldings and all the rubbers. All that's new.
Mm-hmm.
Love the color. I would call that it's kind of a saddle color or a medium brown maybe, but
Right.
man, it really complements the orange paint well. And I love the steering wheel.
Yeah.
That's straight out of Cal Custom catalog in the 70s,
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure. Or
and that's
60s.
kind of what I was trying to go for, was just like a car that somebody built in the 70s that was a kid.
Now, this is a 65. It has seat belts, but did it originally have seat belts?
It did have seat belts in the front. It did not have seat belts in the rear.
I got you. I think it was either in 65 or the next year, the seat belts were a requirement.
It may have been an option in it may have been an option in 65. I'm not sure. And then also with the interior, I based the seats off of my dad's car with the tuck and roll, and because I like the tuck and roll on the Falcon. And
So of course you guys, father and son, you've got 3 vehicles, and we filmed them all. This being the 3rd one.
Right.
He's got that 65 Falcon that we've showed our viewers, and you kind of took the pleating from his Falcon. You like that. You like that look.
And then the door panels, the actual shape and form where the tuck and roll is, was the original shape and form of the original door panel.
I got
and
you.
then I kept that same shape, and then I put the tuck and roll inside there.
I see. One thing that I like, you accented the door handles, the pull handles, and the little ashtray arms back here.
Yeah,
they got the orange on
top.
Different. Yeah,
and that's Go Mango Orange too.
And one thing, and another thing I think is really cool from the 70s is you've got the barefoot on the accelerator pedal and the dimmer switch.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now we're going to get to the and you got 14-inch rubber on it.
Yes.
Krager SS looks like a 7-inch wheel in the back, probably a 6 in the front.
Mm-hmm.
But show us what makes this thing go up and down the road.
All right.
I love how smooth and easy everything works on this car.
Oh, I'm very gentle in it.
Yeah. So we're looking at it's a slant 6, and it's what's the engine size?
It's a 170.
It is a 170. So this is the baby of the slant 6s. They had a 170, a 198, is that right?
Yes.
And a 225 that was widely popular.
Right. And the 170, one of the main differences from the 170 compared to the 198 came out a little later, and compared to the 225, it's a shorter deck. Now, this is just what I've read and what I've heard and everything.
Sure.
But the 170 is a lower deck, shorter stroke, so it revs a lot higher than the 225.
Yeah, and all that makes sense. So we're looking at the intake here. You've got dual single barrel carburetors, right?
Correct.
On an Offenhauser aluminum intake.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me about that manifold. That looks a little different.
So the manifold, they call it Dutra Duals. A guy named Doug Dutra that raced slant 6s started producing that. And what they do is they take your stock manifold and they cut it underneath here, cut it in half. So the rear half of the manifold is factory, and then they reproduce this front half here. And the purpose of that was to be able to maintain your factory choke here, which was a heat choke for the carburetor.
Gotcha.
Which you can see I'm not utilizing.
Yeah, you've got a plate over there.
Right.
Now, do the carburetors sync up nice and well together?
Yeah.
So one is the original, and the other one is obviously an aftermarket.
They're actually both aftermarket.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, we were having issues with the stock carb, and then the other carb off the parts car that we bought. So I finally found a place that reproduced those, and I just bought them new.
So I'm looking at this radiator here, and it's beautiful brass showing here. I noticed this on your dad's car too.
Yeah.
You guys sit down and you take the time to polish out the top of those. And show that real pretty brass that they bury under that black paint when they're built in the factory. That's a really cool accent under here. I think it looks really good. So tell us about your horn. I noticed this, and I saw when I came around here.
Yeah,
I see a little Roadrunner head there.
That is a factory Roadrunner horn, and I'm going to probably upset a lot of people because I painted it black, and I didn't want the purple showing through my grill. So I'm sure I'll get some flack against that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Give it a beat. Let's listen to it.
All right, I can do that.
That is a Roadrunner horn. I promise you it is. Yeah, I had one on my 70. And I've still got one somewhere, in fact. I just don't know where. I hope I've still got it.
We need to buy the Roadrunner.
I need a car to slide under that horn. That's right. Well, you got to look in a real cherry in here, man. It looks really, really good.
Thank you.
It everything about this car is neat, cleanly put together. I like the truss rods for over hood springs.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a little more rigid because I promise you that hood's not light.
Right.
And that seems like a sturdier option than many of the cars after this. Even with Chryslers, they had the hood springs.
Right.
So, yeah, it sure is sharp, Luke. You've got a car you can really be proud of. How's it run?
It runs pretty good. It's not bad.
Well, I would think it would. Now I do know this used to be a 3-speed on the column.
Yes, it was a 3-speed on the column.
So you went with a 3-speed for a while.
For a while, we did a conversion kit and put it on the floor. And doing that, whenever you take the column shift off the column, put it on the floor, you got the little nub that's left there.
Sure.
And we took and sawed the nub off, ground it down, molded it in. So you can't even tell that it was a 3-speed car.
Well, I was looking at that from the passenger side a while ago, and it's smooth. It looks like it should be in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys did a great job on that, but you wasn't satisfied with that 3-speed.
No, I blew the clutch out on my senior prom doing burnouts.
Wow, so, imagine that.
So since I blew the clutch out, we went ahead and said, why not stick an A833 4-speed in?
Yeah, I mean, you had it apart, so why not?
Why not get a whole new tranny, you know?
Yeah, so you went from 3-speed to 4-speed.
Right.
And that complements what gear?
411s.
You got 411s with a 4-speed. I bet it screams going down the road about 65 or 70, doesn't it?
Well, it's the 4th gear in this is an overdrive, so it's not too bad, but still at about 70, I'm turning about 3,500 RPM.
I got you. Now underneath there, it's a, what's the size? A factory rear end?
Yeah, the factory rear end is a 7 1/4, so it's
7 1/4. It's that baby, but it was made for this car.
Right. Yeah.
And you've got that cool cover underneath there.
Oh yeah, got to have a little something.
You got to have that differential cover that folks can see from behind if they're following far enough behind you.
Right.
It can be seen. Well, Luke, I tell you, man, I can't say enough good things about your 65 Dart. It's not a car that you see every day that people restore and put together. That makes it unique in itself.
Right.
You know, Greg made a comment a while ago. You probably got the only 170 Dart with a 170 original engine. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's original block and everything.
You know, you've got one of the probably very few in the United States. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of something to hang your hat on. And for a guy your age to pick this car, that makes old guys like me and Greg and your dad feel good. So
right.
That's a neat thing.
Well, like you said, I wanted something different, and I don't like the stuff you see every day.
Right.
See all the time at the car cruises.
Well, Heartland Hotrods loves all kinds of cars. I mean, we're not particular. Obviously, we love the classic cars, but
right.
You guys have got unique automobiles. You and your dad do, and we're proud to be able to include them on our channel. And we thank you guys for watching. We thought it'd be real important to show you Luke and his dad Tom's vehicles here. They got a beautiful place here. They got beautiful cars. Jump on YouTube, check out our channel, Heartland Hot Rods, or go to heartlandhotrods.com. You can hit our link there and make those comments, like, share, subscribe, do all those things. We'd love to have you along. We got a lot more cars taped, and we got a lot more coming this year. So thanks again, Luke. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet.